So what do you got to tell me?
You mentioned something
Okay.
in that
I like you got a
little
segue.
thing.
Segue.
which was a little bit relevant.
Good.
I'm going to be talking about
Yes.
the second largest employer in America. Do you want to guess what that is?
Amazon.
Yes. So I figured it was time to do a big
Sick. That's a good vibe.
conglomerate kind of company.
I inspired you.
Do you want to
It's
guess?
like the West Farmers of
Yeah.
America.
Well, yeah, except
I mean, they do
it's
different things,
a lot
but-
cooler.
Yes.
No, sorry.
They've actually got an Instagram account.
Yes.
I'm assuming.
They're actually... Yeah, so the market cap of Amazon is 1.6 trillion, which is larger than...
trillion. Wow.
larger than the market cap of Australia as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of
That's right.
funny.
Yeah, true.
Yes, I remember they overtook sometime in the last year.
Yep.
Do you want to guess how many employees they do have?
Okay. I'm going to guess 120,000.
All right, they have 1,298,000 employees.
Bro, isn't there only 25 million people in Australia?
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yes. So, what number did you guess?
120,000.
Okay. So in December 2014,
Yeah.
there were 154,000. So you would have been closer to correct.
Perfect.
In,
In
2014.
That makes me feel better.
Okay, so 500,000 of those employees that they've got as at December 2020
Yeah.
were hired in 2020.
Really?
So yeah,
500,000 in 2020.
yeah. So they would have had.
Because there's so much shipping online.
So they would have 700,000 before 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. So almost 1.3 million, probably over 1.3 million by now.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about the because I always like the founder story. You know.
Yeah, you do. You like a good
I always
story.
like the origin. It's good to hear how they
Tell us about
they
Jeffrey.
started. So Jeffrey, I've got a little bit of an origin story. He had a single mum
You've got-
growing up.
A single mum. Just one.
Just one single mum, and he worked at McDonald's as a line cook as his first job.
His mum did.
No, he did. Forget his mum. I'm already over there. He graduated with degrees in electrical engineering and computer science.
Computer science again.
Yes, so there's another
Okay,
one.
there you
Yeah,
go.
there's another one.
Good.
Started working in banking on Wall Street.
Did what?
Yeah.
As an electrical engineer.
Yep. I don't see the problem with that.
Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, computer science as well. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I get it. Okay, so he was doing something. Yeah,
Being
okay.
quant stuff.
Yeah, okay. So,
And became the senior vice president of an investment firm when he was 30.
really?
So yes, he was
I didn't know this.
he was a chief hedge fund manager.
He was a chief.
He was a chief.
Okay.
And well, senior VP. They like to call it a senior vice president
Okay.
in the US because they can have as many vice presidents as they want.
Yes.
On the 5th of July 1994,
Yeah.
Amazon launches in Bezos's garage, just selling books.
Nice. Books, that's right. It did just come from books, didn't
Yes.
it? I forgot about that.
Yeah, so just books, which is crazy.
I remember a time when I remember the time when it was like, oh, I need to buy a book online. Oh, you go to Amazon. But
Yeah.
that was all you thought they did.
Yes, yeah, that was all they did.
Yeah.
Later in the 90s, Amazon started selling music and videos.
Okay, gotcha.
In the early days, this is what I was talking about with the bell ringing before. There was a bell that rang every time there was an order.
What bell ringing?
Well, we were talking about how an alert on your phone would be crazy every time.
Oh, not on the podcast.
Yeah, it was before the podcast.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so anyway.
What was it again? There was a bell ring.
A bell rang every time there was an order.
Really?
And then after
Wow.
the first couple of weeks, it
Yeah.
got too insane
Yes.
because they were getting so many orders, which was
Gotcha.
obviously good for them.
Yes.
In May 1997, my
Yes.
birthday,
Really?
Amazon listed on the NASDAQ at $1.73.
On your birthday?
Not on my birthday, but
Oh.
May 1997 is my birthday.
Your birth year.
Yes,
But your birth month in the birth year.
my birth month in the birth year.
But
It was
not-
the 16th of May.
Not your birthday, though.
It was 15 days after my birthday.
Awesome.
So yeah, listed on the NASDAQ
On the NASDAQ, okay.
for $1.73 per share.
No. Have they ever split?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
I'm fairly sure no.
Okay.
At least $1.73 in whatever terms it is today. So
Yes.
that's in today's terms. If it did split, I don't think they have split though.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So there was a 93% decline from the height of the .com bubble.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it was trading at $107 in December 1999.
What was it?
Trading at $7.15 in November 2001. So less than 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years, and it's
Yeah.
93% down.
Wow.
If you bought in then,
Yes.
and held until today, you would have
Yep.
made 45,000%.
Wow.
Because the stock price is currently $3,223.
Is it?
So
Three.
you would have made
3,000.
You would have
Okay.
made 450x
Yeah.
your money.
Not bad. Not as
So-
good as Nano, but
Well, yeah, true. But that's from, if you had held it all the way from the start, you would have made,
however much.
over,
A lot.
a significant amount.
A number of times.
You would have made over 300,000%.
There it is. Wow.
That's what I'm going to lay down. But October 2009 is when
Yeah.
you actually would have broken even if you bought in 1999.
Like the height of the
Yeah, so
bubble.
so you would have
Yeah, okay.
So 2009 is when you would have broken even.
Wonder if
which
there's
is
anyone
crazy.
who bought there and held it.
Yeah, held it for more than that's almost 10 years that you would have to hold it to actually break even on your trade.
Would it be pertinent? Could I just mention something about the .com bubble?
Yes.
Have you heard the new episode with Stanley Druckenmiller?
I don't know what this is.
Perfect. So there's I think this is really, really interesting.
Okay,
So there's an interview that came out recently with Stanley Druckenmiller, sorry. And
On what?
just about him. Like who's just talking.
Yeah, whose
MFM.
podcast is it? Okay, right, yes.
And so but it's not, they're like replaying from another podcast. I don't know who originally did it.
Yes.
Anyway, so they got the rights to play it. So they're playing it and it's a new one, which is cool. Anyway, he talks about, he's like a fund manager or blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, I
whatever.
have heard this. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's like, he sells all his positions and he's like short this whole .com bubble. He's like, nah, it's going to burst, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so he did make a bunch of money leading up to it. And then at one point he flipped because he thought, nah, this is it. It can't go much higher. Anyway, then for a bunch of weeks it continued to go higher, which basically means he's just losing money. He's just like weeping money. But he's got a bunch of younger fund managers below him just making heaps of money.
Yeah.
And like 30% a week, whatever. And so he's like, oh, right, I've had enough of this. And so he calls his broker and he puts on something ridiculous, like $30 billion or something. Like a huge amount of money. Because he said I think he said maybe it was 10 billion and he lost 3 billion in this trade.
Yeah.
Right? And so he puts on a bunch of money to go long for this bubble again. And then he reckons within an hour he timed the top of the market.
Yes.
And it went straight back down. He lost $3 billion.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just because, like he was saying, it's interesting.
But he said he didn't learn anything.
He didn't
'cause
learn
knew
anything.
He knew what he knew.
He knew it was stupid because it was just emotional. He was just
Yeah.
saw these people making so much money. So anyway, it's interesting.
Well, my
Sorry.
next point about Jeff Bezos is that he survived a helicopter crash.
He's a bit of a boss, isn't he?
Yeah. I didn't know that until I had a little bit of a research.
Good.
He's had a few fails along the way.
Good. Okay.
So he said that his the way to keep innovating is to
Yeah.
like keep failing on
Yes.
random things.
Yeah.
So he had, and I didn't know this. They had an Amazon Fire phone. It was called Fire Phone.
Really? I didn't know this either.
And apparently they destroyed a whole bunch of them because they couldn't sell them or whatever.
No,
And
they just destroyed them.
yeah, and they just wouldn't. It was
Wow.
just a failure. And at the point where they decided to cut it off, they
That's crazy.
smashed it out.
Yeah, wow.
Now this one was on my mind because in recent developments they've bought MGM Studios for
Yeah, that's right, they did.
$8.45 billion.
That's right.
So they're most likely buying that one for their catalog of quality content to integrate with their
Correct.
streaming service.
Yes.
So integrate with Prime
Amazon
Video.
Prime, yeah.
So MGM's produced the James Bond franchise,
Oh.
the Hobbit franchise, 21 Jump Street, the Rocky movies,
Huh.
and the greatest cinematic masterpiece of all time, Hot Tub Time Machine.
I haven't seen it.
As well as a lot of other ones. It's a very serious and
Is
very
it?
good movie. Yeah.
Okay. The documentary.
Yeah, documentary, yeah.
Gotcha.
It's called Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
He's also it's very ironic that he bought MGM because
Okay.
he's the perfect Bond supervillain.
True.
He's he's
True. Rich, jacked,
he's like a
just got divorced,
he's
building some huge mega yacht thing.
building a rocket ship.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, they've got antitrust issues with the regulators as well. That's another thing that's in the news cycle.
Have they?
I don't know what that means, but yes. Moving past that, there's also
Just good to be aware of it.
it's good to be aware of it. They've also got minimum wage arguments and shutting down unionization.
Yes. Bunch of union stuff recently.
Yeah, shutting down unionization on Amazon warehouse employees.
That's right.
One of the key things there, I think, is that they can't get shares if they're in a union. I think.
Oh, really? So that's why the employees don't want the union.
And the employees are happy to get shares.
I was wondering
because
why
it's
they
crazy
couldn't-
good share to
Yeah,
have.
yeah. Because they did a big thing recently where they were doing a big vote to see if like they could unionize the workforce, and then it didn't pass.
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
And they're just happy because I mean I think a lot of them are just happy to work for a good company and have good stuff. As well as that though, there are a lot of people that aren't happy and do have very bad conditions and stuff. But
yes.
Some of the revenue sources, the business model, and the products. So we've got Amazon Web Services.
Yes, I don't really know what that is, but
it's a huge segment of that's like what that would fall. The umbrella of that would be on top of Nano, who runs off services.
Oh, so it's all the infrastructure for the servers and stuff like that.
So there's like a whole you can code and use Amazon Web Services as the fulfillment center for your online thing.
Gotcha.
So if you have an online project and you need the infrastructure behind it.
Yeah, right. They can provide that.
Use that
as
though...
You could rent it or
as though it's fulfillment by Amazon. Yeah. You know?
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So...
I like it.
But for IT, I guess.
Yeah.
They got Amazon Prime. Now, here's an interesting one for you.
Yeah.
Prime is used by 82% of US households.
Really?
For reference...
that's insane.
For reference, 43% of US households own a gun. 51% of US households are part of a church, synagogue, or religion.
Okay.
Yeah, so and apparently I think 70% of them get a Christmas tree. So it's more popular than it's more popular than
Christmas.
Christmas, guns, and religion in America. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's just how wild Amazon Prime is. It's the delivery subscription service that comes under Amazon Logistics.
You also get the video stuff with that as well, though, right?
Yeah. So that's that's coming up.
Sorry.
Prime Air is currently being experimented with. Prime Air is the drone delivery service.
Oh, okay.
Prime Video is the next segment. So that's their streaming service, obviously, trying to compete with Netflix and stuff.
I like Prime Video.
MGM will help with that.
Yes, it will.
They do have some pretty bad stuff on Prime Video. Yeah. Pretty low quality content.
Yeah.
So it'll be good if they just keep acquiring like stuff like that.
They had Top Gear.
Yes.
Or what's it called? Grand Tour. That's the only reason I used to get it. Whenever the Grand Tour episode used to come in, I'd just find someone's account and just use it.
They also spent $10 billion, even more than MGM, on, I think, streaming NFL games.
Oh, okay.
Not 100% sure, but streaming the next couple of years of NFL games.
That's really good.
Which is wild. Yeah. There's Fulfillment by Amazon, which comes under Amazon Logistics. There was a one-click patent. I don't know if they still have it. Apparently it expired in 2017. Right. But maybe they still use it as a system but don't have the patent. Okay. But that increased sales by 5%. So it's a
one-click patent.
Yeah, so you one-click to buy.
Oh, yeah. I've used that. Because it's already got all your information.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So yeah, their patent on that expired in 2017, but they reckon it increased their overall sales by 5%.
Gotcha.
They've got Whole Foods, which is...
Do they own Whole Foods?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he bought that 5 or 6 years ago.
Whole Foods is great.
Yeah. It's very different as a brand from Amazon as well.
Very different.
So it's kind of cool to have that unique... and they would have great... Amazon's got great logistics services, so integrating that with Whole Foods is next level cost cutting.
Definitely.
For really high quality products.
Yep.
They got Twitch.
Yes, that's right.
Streaming video games. Yep. They got Alexa for your home entertainment system.
True.
They've got Audible, for your ebooks, and Kindle for your actual books.
Kindle, yes.
Yeah, so they've got that's just a couple of the things that they provide. Yep. They've also got a music streaming service. So I guess the music streaming service, the Audible stuff, Prime Video, all that stuff kind of integrates with your Alexa, and you can say like, "Oh, play this on the TV." Turn on the. I don't know
if they have podcasts. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, you would assume so. On Audible, I think there is.
Audible, of course. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay.
It's a full audio stack of stuff.
Okay.
And it's it's like the second thing that they started doing was audio stuff. Oh well, like
because they went books and then they went, what's kind of like books.
So they did music and video, in the 90s.
Yeah.
So what else have I got? They've the full year revenue for the March 2021 is $419 billion.
For March, just for that month.
Just for the full year period leading up to that. So year over year.
I get you.
419 billion.
419 billion. Wow.
Profit from that was 26.9 billion.
Wow.
And in the last year, they've grown earnings by 154%.
Have they?
In the past 5 years, it's been 48% per year. as an average
growing
growth in earnings.
Yep.
So for context, revenue in 2014 was 88 billion, and earnings was negative 241 million.
Wow. What year?
So in 2014.
14, okay.
Yeah, so...
I suppose, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, now, do they really need to market as much? Probably not.
Probably not.
They can just take the income, I suppose.
True. Yes. Amazon marketing also does very well as a...
Oh, do they...
Separate...
they do that?
People pay to list their ads higher on Amazon, so that's done really well.
Yeah, of course. I know that.
Yeah.
True.
So the getting into the culture of the company and that kind of thing.
Yep.
And Bezos again as well.
Yes.
He owns 10.5% of the company.
Okay.
So he did own more, but in June 2019, he divorced his wife, Mackenzie Scott.
Yes.
And she was given $38 billion worth of Amazon stock at the time.
Yeah.
So she would be, also I don't know what he's worth now, 160 billion or something. She would also be there.
Yep.
But she's given most of that away by now.
Has she?
Yeah, so she...
Quite the philanthropist. Is that how you say it?
Philanthropist.
Philanthropist.
Yes, so what I was talking about last night with... I'll cut this bit out. But with It's Always Sunny, they tell him to say that he's a philanthropist.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, that's a really good thing. That's you want to say that you're a philanthropist for the date. And he doesn't know what that means. And he goes, I'm a full-on...
No, I think you should leave that in.
Yeah, right, I'll leave it in.
No, don't leave it in.
I'm not leaving it in.
I was like, don't leave it in. I'll just beep it out.
Yeah.
And he says...
You love to beep stuff out. There was one bit that I unbeeped at one stage, but I left the beep in there. So you can hear me saying...
Oh, yeah.
And at the same time. Sometimes just got to get my way. So his whole purpose of what he was doing...
Yes.
Amazon's... So the way that he set up the company name and everything...
Yeah.
Amazon's not only the largest river in the world, it's much, much larger than the next biggest river.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his whole philosophy around the company.
Wow.
PowerPoint presentations are banned in the office. Every presentation for a meeting has to be a 6-page memo.
What?
Which is a really random cultural thing. The average tenure for the leadership on the board is 6 years, and as well as the leadership, which is double Walmart's exec team, and more than Apple at 3.8 years. So Walmart is 3 years.
Yeah.
It's more than most of turnover for anyone.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Jeff is stepping down as the CEO, which he announced in February.
True.
He will... So Andy Jassy is the upcoming CEO, who was the president of AWS.
That's right.
And he's going to become the CEO on the 5th of July, which is the same date that Jeff started the company in 1994 or whatever.
Cool.
So it'll be an exact...
Sick.
Whatever that is, 26-year period or whatever.
Yep.
27-year, I don't know.
Yep.
And his newest side project is Blue Origin.
Yes.
Which Jeff's been putting in $1 billion a year to take flight. So one thing that's interesting about that, Blue Origin, SpaceX, Virgin Galactic, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson.
Yes.
So 3 billionaires, 3 space projects.
Yes.
That's also very cool. I'm going to talk about that in a later episode.
Oh, okay, cool.
But
I like it.
Just because
do you know what Jeff's trying to do?
Oh,
he's not going to Mars. Do you know what he's doing?
I don't know what he's...
Virgin Galactic are just flying around and then coming back, aren't they?
Yeah, so... Yeah, Virgin's point is to make travel within the world way faster.
Yeah.
Elon's obviously going to Mars. Yeah, I don't know what Jeff's trying to do. Trying to match them with a billionaire.
Something.
Being the richest.
I just realised that I've yawned a couple of times. And it's not because it's boring. It's just happened.
Yes.
And your friends are going to probably comment on it.
The tea was not strong enough. Bezos also owns the Washington Post.
Yes, that's right.
Which is an interesting one.
True, that's cool.
So he's got a couple of little fun side projects.
Yeah.
Owning a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my segment for Amazon.
All right, what's your wrap up?
I think my wrap up is that I heard someone say the other day.
Yeah.
I think it was that guy, the same interview. Okay. He was saying, what will be the first company to hit $5 trillion in market cap? So it's currently 1.6.
Yeah, it was.
It
was him.
He said it's very likely to be Amazon.
Yep.
So yeah. I also didn't know that FANG was a term invented by Jim Cramer.
Nor did I.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's neat. I like Jim.
Yes.
Anyway.
Do you own it?
I own 0.4 shares of Amazon.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
Whatever that is, $3,000 to no, not 3,000, 3,000 per one share.
Yes.
So yeah, 1,500 or something.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yes,
I like it.
It's a big yes from me.
Oh, cool. Well, not that big.
Not that big.
Clearly.
Slightly big yes.
Little
Not
bit.
all as rich as you.